We are Legion M, and you are watching the Geek Speak Show.
It's the Geek Speak Show at Silicon Valley Comic Con, and look who we ran into. Legion M. Wait.
Who? Yeah.
Yeah, no, Legion M. Let me introduce you the way you guys like. The good-looking
No.
Jeff
Incredibly
Annison.
good-looking.
Okay, it's a year later. The incredibly good-looking Jeff Annison and the clairvoyant Paul Scanlan. Hi, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thanks
really
for
good.
having us
Thank
on the
you.
show.
Yeah, well, we kind of had to because, a year ago, Legion M was born right here behind us at Silicon Valley Comic Con. It was born. You guys were born. It's getting bigger. You guys are getting way bigger. So, first of all, we said it on the show, congratulations on the second million.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And happy birthday.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten the cake. We keep forgetting the cake. Somebody wheel it in or something. So talk about a year ago. Where is Legion M now?
Sure. So, I can start that off. I mean, I think when we look back at a year ago and what we aimed to do and what our goals were, I think a year later, we've even blown our own mind. If we had kind of said, oh, we're gonna start this company, we're gonna do 2 rounds of finance, we're gonna blow out our first one, we're gonna get involved in a movie with Anne Hathaway, we're gonna do a VR interview with Stan Lee and Kevin Smith, and we're gonna have a pitch elevator series that's getting traction, we're gonna invest in a new horror film, I think we probably would have been overselling it.
Yeah.
And here we are a year later, and that's what's happening. So yeah, we feel really good about it, and we're also more than anything excited about the reaction that we've had from the community and the fans that have come together to support us and help make all that possible.
Yeah, I can say from a year ago when we were here and you first debuted, and it's on our YouTube channel, they're there, and a lot of the interviews that weren't with you guys, people were asking about Legion M. So I'm doing an interview with, a T-shirt booth or something else, and did you guys see Legion M? I said, yes, we know about Legion M. So yeah, especially here, it was a perfect place to kick it off because these people are really imaginative. First of all, second of all, when you say things like that, well, we might do a movie with Anne Hathaway, we might do this with Stan Lee, do this, do that. Most normal people out there might say, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But
Good
here,
yeah.
it's cool, yeah, I can't wait to see it. So, yeah, it was a perfect place to launch it. So let's start with that. I keep using the same pun. It's a huge news, huge movie. You were involved with Colossal. Talk about that. How did that happen?
Well, so we're partners with Tim League and Tom Quinn, who formed a new distribution company called Neon. And they were going to Toronto to buy films. They're a film distributor. So, and Paul talked to him and said, hey, keep us in mind while you guys are out shopping for films. And they came back with one that is absolutely perfect for the Legion. It's a completely original movie. It is one of the most creative and original movies that I think in the past couple of years. And anyway, it's a lot of fun. And so they basically came back to us and said, hey, we found this great movie. We've invested in it. So as an investor in Legion M, you are an investor in the movie Colossal. And if the movie's successful, we've got upside. And we are out now just trying to spread the word as far as we can and let people know about this movie, what a great movie it is.
Yeah, because as we're recording this, the Silicon Valley weekend, it's actually out in the Bay Area, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we really like about this movie is it's a signature movie for Legion M. It's not only our first big theatrical release, but it also represents what we want to be known for, which is bringing wildly original new IP, not just kind of rebooting and retreading content, which seems to be the kind of norm for Hollywood, but also getting behind something that we think has commercial success.
Yeah.
Because we're a united community of fans, but those fans are putting an investment in, and so we want to get them a return on their investment. So we're looking for projects that. I think we're being attacked.
It's a Colossal plane going over us.
Colossal is here. They just the Shark Tank is down. Anyway, so yeah, no, we're excited because this movie really kind of defines what it is that we want to be known for, and it just it was good timing.
Yeah, so was that. Speaking of,
exactly.
So let's jump into a DeLorean. Go back to a year ago. I don't know why this slipped my mind, but to a lot of people that may be hearing about Legion M for the first time. Maybe not a lot, because like I said, I do know a lot of people that they're talking about you guys. But for those who are wondering what's Legion M, so let's go back there and tell them what is Legion M.
Sure. So we're a fan-owned entertainment company, and what that means is that it's kind of like a whole bunch of fans chipped in their money. We pulled our money and said, let's go make movies, television, virtual reality. Let's make cool stuff. And so we don't make fan films. It's not it's not a crowdsourced film company. Instead, we go partner with projects like Colossal with Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis. We've got a virtual reality project that we filmed with Kevin Smith and Stan Lee. We've got some other really cool projects that we've done, and they are literally owned. Our company is literally owned by fans. So the whole idea behind it is that if you've got a large audience of people that are invested in entertainment projects, it gives those projects a better chance to succeed. It's a lot of fun because we all get to come along for the ride as we develop them, and it's really smart because when the movies come out, we've got a legion of fans behind it.
Yeah, which is what the logo stands for, actually.
Yeah, in fact, our logo is an M with a bar over it because our long-term goal is we want to unite 1 million fans together. And, it's very early for us now. We've got a little over 10,000 people that are involved in the Legion or members of the Legion. We've got about 5,000 that have invested. By the way, the minimum investment is $100, but you're not required to invest to join the Legion. So anyone can join. Right now, the average is about $500 or $600 per investor. So if we reach that goal of 1 million fans, we'll have capitalized the company with $500 to $600 million to invest in projects that have 1 million fans as a community emotionally and financially invested in those projects and their success.
Yeah, so while they're watching us and hearing us, tell them with the website, how can they join, where can they join?
Sure. So they can go to thelegionm.com, and it's got all of our background information. It's got information about the types of projects we're interested in and the ones that we've announced so far. And you can sign up there to join the Legion, and then there's another button if you want to make an investment. You can go over to the WeFunder page to make the investment.
So while you're there thinking about it, here's the reason why. Let's talk about the fun stuff. We talk about Colossal. Talk about the other project that you can talk about that Legion M is involved in.
Field Guide or Stan Lee?
Let's go.
We've got. Do you want a horror movie? You want virtual reality? You want the pitch elevator?
VR and Stan Lee fit in here, so let's go with those first.
Okay, so we did a virtual reality interview with Stan Lee, and Stan is turning 95 this year. He's also celebrating his 70th wedding anniversary this year, and so we went to his home, and in his room, like his party room, he calls it, which is like his upstairs man cave. We sat him down and interviewed him.
We allowed to be in those parties, actually.
We allowed him to choose his interviewer, and he selected Kevin Smith, and Kevin agreed to do it. And so they came in and sat down and had about an hour and a half long conversation about life, the universe, and everything. So he talked about what was it like creating, Spider-Man, and what was it like running Marvel during the golden age of comics. But then we also asked him the big questions, like what was the hardest day of your life and how did you get through it?
Yeah.
We have both Stan and his wife of 70 years describing the day that they met and fell in love. It was really, really powerful stuff. And so it's all filmed in virtual reality, and we filmed it in this excruciatingly high detail, so that when you put on the goggles, the VR goggles, it's kind of like if I'm the viewer, you're Stan, Kevin Smith is probably right here, and it's just the three of us sitting on a table this close, and we filmed it at a resolution that is at the threshold of human perception, which means if you've tried VR today, you know that when you put it on, it's cool, but it's also like being trapped in a Sony Trinitron TV from 1994.
Yeah.
But over the next few years, the technology will improve. And at some point, when you put on those goggles, it will be imperceptible from actual reality visually. It'll look just like you're right there. And that's the quality that we captured it in, so that people 100 years from now will know what it's like to sit down with one of the icons of our generation.
Yeah, which when you guys first told me about it, that's the one that said, yeah, I can't wait to see that one, and we're going to see it pretty soon.
Yeah, and it's filmed now. I mean, back when we talked about it, it was an idea, but it's in the bag. We've captured it, and it's incredible. So,
well, and one thing that we should point out is we really pushed the envelope on what was possible and what anyone else had done in a VR interview series. So there had been a few other interviews with Michelle Obama and Paul McCartney, but no one had really done it this way. And we, there's a big write-up on it in Fast Company that goes into some of the detail, but we're really proud of it, because we do feel like, when you have Stan Lee and Kevin Smith and you have the opportunity to be in their home, this is like entertainment royalty, and Stan will go down as one of the best storytellers of our generation, and we wanted to capture that moment, not just with GoPro cameras, but with the highest possible quality that we could get.
Yeah, and so let's talk about the pitch elevator, because that one to me sounds, and I'm sure the Legion and also the people that are watching, it sounds like something that they would love to do. They probably have done it themselves or try to, because it happens at conventions like this, at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, that it happens where you do get in an elevator, you happen to be with J.J. Abrams or Joss Whedon is there, and you I have an idea, I have that. You guys actually, it's a thing with you guys, so talk about that.
Sure. So, one of the things as a fan-owned community, we had a lot of our owners and other people that had heard about us asking, how do I submit my ideas? Can I send you my script? And, we're a relatively small company, so we want to keep our overhead at a manageable level. And so what we did is it started off as actually a marketing idea. We wanted to be at Stan Lee's LA Comic-Con, and we built a prop elevator that we could put on the con floor and allow people to come in and pitch their idea. And the concept is basically anyone can have a great idea for a TV show or a movie, but very few people have the connections or the network to get it heard by the right people to make their dreams come true. And so we wanted to not only get the Legion M name out there, but we wanted to open the gates to Hollywood and give everybody a chance to come in and pitch their idea. And we also felt like this could potentially be entertaining content. So we rigged the elevator with cameras and microphones, and we had a host outside, and it was a huge success at that con, and we were able to capture a lot of these pitches in the elevator, and then it's a competition where all these pitches get put into a competition that's voted on by the Legion community. We narrow it down to the top 10, and then the top 10 pitches have the opportunity to pitch their idea to a panel of executives, some of the top people in the industry to give feedback on. And from that, we will select one pitch that we will give a development deal to and try to make it into an actual project.
So it sounds like you guys pretty much developed the Geek Shark Tank.
The Geek Shark Tank. That's
what it sounds like.
It's a great way to describe it. And what's been really rewarding about it is that project and our idea, how it continues to snowball into something bigger, is now something that we're in a conversation about creating it into its own digital series. That would go on the road, and it would be at cons that go around the country, and we'd get pitches, and it would take on a life of its own. That's how you think huge, not big, doing things like that. Now, the one, actually, you were on the show with us leading up to Silicon Valley Comic-Con, Jeff, but we didn't get a chance to talk about that one. I told you I love paranormal horror. You guys have that too. Talk about that.
Yes, so we've got a really cool horror movie that we're working on, and it's called Field Guide to Evil, and it's produced by Tim League and Ant Timpson, who are they produce the ABCs of Death. I don't know if you ever seen that. Okay, so it's those same guys. So the idea is they found 8 award-winning up-and-coming directors. So these are, they're not like film school graduates. These are, they're new emerging directors, but they're people that have won awards and are going places.
Yeah.
From all over the world. One of them is from the U.S. The other 7 are from outside of the U.S. And each one of them is producing a 15-minute short that explores a local mythology or folklore or horror folklore from their region. So you've got, India representing with a tale of terror from India and Argentina, and so on. And then all these are being put together into one long film. And so we're one of the executive producers of it, along with the producers of The Lobster and Anomalisa and Blair Witch. I mean, it's a really high-end team that's producing it. And like Paul said before with Colossal, for us, it's not just about the art and creating cool content, right? This isn't a Kickstarter project where people are contributing.
Yeah.
If you give us $100, our job is to turn that into $200 or $500 or $1,000 or $10,000. And so, horror is great because it's one of the, I don't want to say easiest, but it's kind of, it's one of the easiest ways to make money in Hollywood because you can develop the content very inexpensively relative to building $100 million superhero movie or something like that. And there's a niche, there's a group of passionate fans out there that'll enjoy it. So
and it also travels really well. And in this project, because horror is sort of universal on a worldwide level, and that's one of the things that this movie really stands for, is that we want to bring voices from outside the U.S. and give them a platform here, but we also want to take that movie and it'll have an international opportunity to be monetized.
Yeah, so that one's like an anthology film. Now, will that be a series, or is that just a one-time, let's see what happens, and maybe it'll become a series?
Yeah, I mean, it's one time for now, and we'll see what happens with it.
If it's successful,
yeah,
we're hoping it's going to turn into the next franchise.
Just
like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, I was going to say, just don't go their route where the first few were good or saw those were good, but then it got into, okay, no more, it's enough.
Yeah.
When can we expect that one? I mean, the obvious would be like around Halloween time, but when can we expect that one?
So it's in production. It's just starting production now. So they're finalizing the script. So it's not going to be, that one won't have a theatrical release until probably 2018, and they'll start with the festivals and then take it from there.
Okay. So anything else that you can talk about?
Not from a project standpoint. We've got some really cool things that we're going to be announcing soon, probably around activities at San Diego Comic-Con and maybe some stuff around San Diego Comic-Con. We're in discussion on a lot of different movies. Like, we've got a lot of stuff in the can, but those 4 projects, Colossal, Icons, which is the Stan Lee VR, Field Guide to Evil, and Pitch Elevator are the 4 that we've announced.
Yeah, which again, those of you thinking about it, I mean, if that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. So again, one more time, give them the website, where to go.
Sure, it's thelegionm.com. You can check us out there, and all the information, our background, and a link to the funding portal is all there.
Yeah, and then become part of Legion M, and then you can hashtag We Are Legion.
Exactly.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much, Henry.